Hey guys, and welcome to the show. And today we're interviewing a very special guest. These folks are actually in Switzerland and they're heading up a new project and brand that's setting out to break the mold. So, what better way to introduce you to the company than to interview them and to show you a Western?
Hey, cowboy, what are you looking for?
Well, I'm thinking to launch a new watch brand.
If you don't have $10 million, you've got no chance, and we're not going to lend you that money so easily.
Actually, I'm not here to ask you for money, and I thought I could make it with 10,000. I'm glad that you take it this way. I was a little afraid of offending you.
Anyway, if you don't have our distribution network, you're screwed.
Actually, I was thinking not to bother myself with a distribution network.
Be careful, stranger. You must follow the rules.
Alright, so now that you've seen that, let's get right into it. The interview's coming up right after this.
So the project is just started a few weeks ago, and the goal is really to create a new watch brand, but disrupting slightly the established rules of watchmaking. So we are based in Switzerland, and we are exactly in the heart of watchmaking.
I've kind of been to the website and I've read a lot of the great information that you guys have on there. So one of the biggest things that you seem to hit on is the concept of total transparency in watchmaking in general. So what would set you guys apart from micro brands like Seven Fridays that are fairly transparent about production of their watches?
Well, actually, Seven Fridays is a good example of new ways of doing watchmaking, being more transparent. So it's quite an inspiration for us. Now we go a bit further because first about the origin, we have created this TTO label, which basically it's something where we want to have like explaining really every step of the process of a watch, the production process of a watch, and explaining where each part comes from, bracelet, case, and everything. So this is one thing. This label TTO is also open to other brands. We already received since the launch 2 weeks ago a lot of requests for little independent brands that would like to join and they like the concept of being transparent. And second, we also go a bit further because we want to be transparent on prices also.
Okay.
So we're going to explain the production cost of the watch and also then to explain how we get to the final public price.
In regard to distribution, that's one of the things that you guys mentioned on the website as well. Your model seems like it's fairly similar to a lot of, well, not a lot of other micro brands, but several other micro brands such as Christopher Ward, for example, that provide some of that consumer savings by cutting out the retailer and selling direct to the end consumer. So is that distribution model very similar to what you have in mind for Goldgena?
Yes, it's going to be close to that. Actually, there is a few examples, as you mentioned. The goal here is not to be the first one to do that, but it's just to do things differently than the traditional distribution. First, because it's completely saturated, so it's difficult just to come in and just say, okay, hello, we are a new brand, we want to join in this mess. Christopher Ward and others, they use the model to, of course, to cut the price, which is a good opportunity also to go closer to what people are looking for today. They want to have a better ratio quality price, and this is a good solution to get it.
Yes, absolutely. I think that most of us, we work hard for our dollar, and when it comes to an industry that's as saturated as watches, we do get very obsessed with the concept of bang per buck. Now, is Goldgena's goal to provide Swiss-made watches that let the consumer know where every component is made, but still meet the criteria for Swiss-made, or simply to provide quality watches regardless of where the components are made, but still have total transparency on where all those components came from?
Yes, the main goal is to be transparent. So what we mentioned in our first chapter about origin and Swiss made is that today a lot of Swiss made watches are mostly made in China and abroad, but still they are known as being very good and very qualitative watches. So it means it's not because it's made in Switzerland that it's high quality. It's because Swiss people know how to work in the world with the best people. They can be in China or wherever they can be, and to get the best out of each supplier, I would say. So our goal is just to do good quality watches, be transparent, and then no matter if it's Swiss made or not.
So will each one of the pieces, they'll have exactly where each component came from?
Yes, actually, the goal of the TTO label will be that each watch will have a little card that mentions in detail every component and the origin of the component, but not only the components. There will be also like the design, where it has been made, the assembly, the development. So it can be the parts, but also the work that has to be done on each pieces. And this information, you can also have it on the platform, the TTO platform, where you can, with the serial number, for example, you can get the description of the watch.
You mentioned the TTO platform, and then earlier on you mentioned that there were some brands, especially micro brands, that were very interested in participating. So if it's a brand that's participating in the TTO platform, does that mean that you would also be able to take that brand's serial information on that platform and find the same level of detail for that piece as well if they're participating in the TTO label?
Yes, of course, that's the goal. If someone wants to join, then we will need to get the information from them to put it on the platform. And everyone that would get a watch like that or would like to buy a watch like that can retrieve the information on TTO platform.
That's fantastic. So you're providing that. That's not something that you're keeping hold of specifically for Goldgena. Then you're opening that invitation to any brand that's willing to be uh, to that level of transparency.
Yes, it's the goal is to set new rules, I would say, or just to go to the basics, because at the end we don't want to add more rules. Actually, we just want to go back to the reality and just say things like they are. So no more rules, but just what it is. And this is something that I think will benefit to everyone if we have people joining. Then it will be good for the Swiss industry, but also the watch industry in general, and for the consumer. When there is more transparency, it's always better for everyone, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's part of what builds trust and long term builds that concept of brand loyalty. You come back to somebody because you know that they're being it's an honest relationship, the exchange of somebody's money for a product where they know everything about the product is it has been transparent and honest.
the fact is that today people can get information from internet very quickly. So maybe 30 years ago, you can just do what you want, put some rules. It's quite local, so you can have the information. Goes on more slowly. But today, you can get quickly on the internet. People make research. They like. They comment. They share. So it's better just to be transparent. At least you don't have a bad surprise if someone discovers that it was not completely true.
Yeah, I think Braemont is probably one of the most recent examples in one of their movements that they claimed were in-house made, and further research kind of led to a bit of a debacle for them. So I think they're a pretty good example of how difficult it would be to
Yeah.
keep that secret now with technology and communication as vast and easy as it is at the moment. Now, for Goldgena, do you guys have any idea what the production cost per wristwatch is going to be to include materials, man hours, and packaging?
We are more or less. I think we will be around. The production cost will be around $200 and $300.
Okay.
But this will depend on what we want to do exactly, because the goal of Goldgena project is to involve the consumer and to make him participate to the development and the choices we would make. So first we explain in the first 3 chapters about the new direction we want to take. But when we will show the first design, this is going to be in about 1 month, beginning of May. We will not show completely finished design. We will show maybe 3 directions, and we want people to share with us their thoughts, their advice, recommendations, and just have people participating to this development. Also, one of the questions we will ask them, and we say, okay, here is a watch that is Swiss made, so meaning it has a Swiss movement, even if the parts come from everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And here is another watch that could have a Nyota movement, Japanese, and the price difference will be maybe 80% more expensive from the Swiss watch, but the quality will be very similar. So then we can ask the consumer directly, okay, what do you want to do? You want to pay more for a watch that will be very similar in terms of quality, or do you think at the end it's the quality that is more important and we don't care about the Swiss made? And this will help us to make the choices and go on the development.
So that interaction with the consumer to get feedback on the designs, that will all happen through the Goldgena website. So people have to register to provide input for that.
Yes, exactly. I mean, the goal of the Goldgena project is to start really from the basics, when you start after reflection of a brand, of a development, and really try to involve people from the beginning and try to do things again a bit differently than what is done in the development of a product in general, where you hide everything, you make it confidential, and you only show it when it's launched. We want to do from the scratch and get people involved, because we believe that the behaviors will be much more involved with the brand when you can say something about it, when you can participate in some ways.
I think you might have already answered the next question, which is whether or not you plan on using Swiss or Japanese movements. And based on our conversation so far, it seems like a lot of those decisions will be made based on a feedback that you get from the community and from potential consumers.
Exactly, but again, we want to talk with people about these questions, but still, the goal here is just to show that whatever decision we will make, the quality will be there. It's not a question of quality, or when we talk about origin today, this don't define the quality.
Absolutely.
It just defines the local, but it doesn't mean actually anything, because the world today, it's more like a little village, and you can find everywhere good people, quality people, also craft manufacturing everywhere. This is also true in Switzerland, it's true in China.
Yeah.
But you can find this doesn't matter. It's not a question of where, it's a question of who. And what level of quality you want to get.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is going to do a lot to help open the minds of a lot of people that carry reputation based on a brand name without realizing that you can find good quality products anywhere. It's just a matter of finding the people that are capable of producing that in that particular part of the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, will you guys be at Basel World 2017?
Well, for the moment, we plan to be there, but not in the traditional way because people usually go there to find retailers and distributors.
Yeah.
Which today it's not our goal to distribute our watches through retailers. So, but we want to be there just to make a big party, and if we succeed, then there will be some good party to make.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it would be great as well to if you do participate and set up a booth for to have prototypes, because I know there's a lot of just your regular watch enthusiasts that hope to be there. For example, I hope to be there next year just to get a hands-on feel and interaction, more one-on-one interaction with the brands that a lot of us hope to have or already own. Is there a reason for the mystery of your identities during the beginning of the campaign?
So the mystery about our identity. Well, it's true. It's a question that is coming back often now.
Yeah.
We want to talk first about the content that starts from scratch, and then we talk about that, and then we talk about who is behind, and even before talking about the product, first establish the rules and try to find the basics that we want to have for our new watch brand. But also, this whole story is also very serious, but also we want to have fun.
Yeah.
And we have chapters, like, so we unveil things little by little, just because people get excited. They like the fact to discover things slowly, and they like the fact to be involved. We have this cowboy story, and if people get 5 people subscribe to our website, they become sheriff, and when they are sheriff, they get new privilege like being in the salon. So all this world also is a part of mystery that people like to have every 2 weeks, a new part of the story. So our identity, then it's not so much, it's such a big deal. It's just about getting a bit of a surprise and saying things little by little. At the end, it's not the big part of the project, So we have seen that journalists are quite when actually they are very interested in talking about the project, but yeah, they don't like the fact that they don't know who is behind. So we're not going to make the mystery so much longer, but a few weeks.
Can you discuss some of the challenges for starting a new watch brand in such a saturated industry?
What is funny is that today the watch industry is there is a bit of crisis everywhere, and the watch industry is a bit saturated, and it's not, we don't know where it's going. There is the smart watches, and everything is a bit it's very difficult when you ask people, when you say to someone, okay, I would like to launch a brand, they will always say, oh la la, you cannot do that. If you don't have $10 million, you cannot do anything, and if you don't have a distribution network, you cannot do anything. This is what actually inspired us for doing the little cowboy video we have made.
Yeah.
But it's actually the reality, because either you have all this money and this distribution, and you can maybe expect to have some success, or you don't do anything. But for us, actually, this was the challenge to say, okay, this is all blocked. What can we do? And I think this was for us a good opportunity to have this market so saturated. It gave us the power to be creative, and to try to find other directions, and to come with these new directions.
Now, will you guys announce as new brands join the TTO platform? Will those be announcements done through the webpage?
Yes, actually, the TTO platform is not live for the moment, because the goal of that is to explain what we want to do, but it will start to be live only when we start to create our first watches. So this is going to be in a few months. And from there, of course, then when we have some other brands that will join the TTO label, then we will, of course, announce it.
So the TTO platform, that's going to be a website that people can go to check it out, to check out the information once it's up and running.
Yes, the TTO is going to be exactly that. You can,
Okay.
you either you want to buy a watch and it has the TTO label, so you go there and you understand exactly where it has been made, or you have a watch because you bought it or you received it or whatever, and then you can go and find information about the origin.
I really, really appreciate you guys participating in the interview and answering not only my questions, but questions that other AWC channel members have also submitted as questions. I appreciate you guys taking the time. I know there is a big time difference, and you guys are in Switzerland. And I apologize for some of the earlier technical difficulties, but I really appreciate you taking the time to explain it and to provide some additional insight into what I hope and think is going to be a very exciting project.
Yes, I hope. Thank you for interviewing me. Interesting to have people passionate like you to report what we are doing. So it's thank you very much.
Okay, so make sure you guys check out their website and register using the links in the video description. And as always, if you enjoyed this video or found it useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one. CG, out.